Breaking news! Prince Harry just pulled up at Chatham House because the visual contrast here is pure gold. Outside the building, you had a complete swarm of tabloid photographers and reporters absolutely losing their mind. They were practically foaming at the mouth, screaming, "Sir, sir," at the top of their lungs, desperately trying to trigger a stressed-out reaction. They wanted that one perfect shot of him looking panicked or defeated right before the High Court dropped its announcement. But what does Harry do? He steps out of the ride looking incredibly sharp, completely businesslike, throws them a quick casual wave and walks straight through the front doors. No hesitation, no drama. He completely starved those vultures of the chaotic reaction they were praying for. He proved his mind is strictly on the mission. For regular people watching this play out, this is the ultimate lesson in dealing with toxic haters. When people at work or in your life are actively preying on your downfall, trying to bait you into acting crazy, you don't give them the satisfaction. You don't match their frantic, chaotic energy. You just put on your best suit, give them a casual wave, and keep moving forward to handle your business. While the press was screaming outside over court paperwork, Harry was inside pulling together international leaders, policymakers, and medical experts to lock in real life-changing support for wounded veterans. He's out here focusing on a massive global legacy, while his critics are left standing on the pavement outside, shouting into the wind. That is how you protect your peace and totally block their noise. Let's talk about what he was actually doing inside that building, because this is where you see the massive difference between real work and a royal vanity project. Harry didn't pull up to Chatham House just to cut a ribbon, wave a fake gold pair of scissors, and smile for a photo op. He was there to launch a massive conference marking the official 1 year to go countdown for the 2027 Invictus Games in Birmingham. The man brought together international policymakers, veterans, and top medical experts under one roof to lock in actual life-changing support for wounded service personnel. For regular people watching this, it completely flips the script on what leadership looks like. Most of the establishment figures we see are totally content just doing fake PR, shaking hands, dropping a highly rehearsed statement, and acting like they care while doing zero actual legwork. But Harry is out here using his platform to build global systems that literally save veterans' lives. While the palace is trapped in an absolute loop of high school level drama, worrying about staffing deadlines and pulling room office at the 11th hour, Harry is on the international stage handling real global leadership. They want to make his life about their petty headlines, but his actual life is focused on a massive, undeniable legacy. He is completely matching his talk with action, and that's why they can't touch his grind. Let's talk about how Prince Harry completely froze out a media drama while the entire court system was exploding around him. The man was literally standing on stage at Chatham House, delivering an inspiring speech about global unity. He looked the crowd dead in the eye and said, "What brings us together is far more important than what sets us apart." And here is the absolute kicker. He was saying those exact words at the precise minute the High Court dropped its final judgment on his massive lawsuit against the Daily Mail publishers. The news broke that the judge actually dismissed the claims, basically shielding the Daily Mail because of some legal technicalities about proving how the dirty leaks were sourced. The media was absolutely foaming at the mouth, waiting for Harry to crumble, trip over his words, or give them a messy, dramatic soundbite they could plaster all over the evening news. But what did Harry do? The man didn't even blink. He didn't change a single line of his script, he didn't drop his head, he didn't look flustered, and he completely refused to give those vultures the satisfaction of a chaotic reaction. Instead, he kept the spotlight 100% focused exactly where it belonged, on the veterans and the mission of the Invictus Games. He completely locked the tabloids out of hijacking his big day. For regular people watching this play out, this is the ultimate masterclass in protect your peace energy. In the real world, if you found out your haters just scored a temporary win while you were in the middle of a big presentation at work, most people would lose their minds or let their energy drop. But Harry showed everyone what actual steel looks like. He didn't let a broken establishment ruling ruin his vibe or shift his focus from doing the right thing. He kept his head high, handled his business, and proved that even when the system tries to protect the bullies, they still can't touch his purpose.
Let's take a direct swing at this legal system because today's High Court ruling is an absolute joke. The judge basically stood up and said that even though these allegations against Associated newspapers were dead serious, Harry and the other guys couldn't just rely on understandable suspicion to prove the phone hacking. The court literally shielded the Daily Mail because it's incredibly hard to legally track down and prove exactly how those dirty backroom leaks were sourced 10 or 15 years ago. They hid behind a legal technicality, completely letting these corporate media bullies off the hook. Let's call it what it is, the system protecting its own. These massive tabloid empires have been wrecking people's lives for decades, and the second someone holds their feet to the fire, the courts build a protective wall around them. But for regular people watching this is exactly why Harry deserves massive respect. Everyone else was completely terrified to fight. Other celebrities and public figures swallowed the disrespect for years because they didn't want the smoke. But Harry? The man has the backbone to stand up, spend his own resources, and drag these corporate giants straight into the light anyway. Even with a rigged game and a broken ruling, Harry exposed the entire rotten machine for the world to see. He showed regular people that you don't back down from a bully just because they own the playground. The court might have handed the media a temporary shield today, but Harry won the moral victory by proving he will never let them break his stride. Let's look past the headlines and talk about what the Invictus Games actually do on the ground, because the way this program completely changes veterans' lives is the real story. When service members get wounded, injured, or sick, the hardest part isn't just the physical healing. The real battle is what happens to their mind. When you're medically discharged, you don't just lose a job, you lose your team, your routine, and your entire identity. A lot of these heroes go from being elite, highly disciplined protectors to feeling completely isolated and invisible, sitting alone on the couch wondering what's next. That is exactly where the power of Invictus steps in and completely flips the script. This isn't a pity party or a charity track meet. It is a massive, high-octane catalyst for what experts call post-traumatic growth. It gives these men and women a brand new mission. It pulls them out of isolation, puts them back into a uniform, and surrounds them with a global squad of people who completely understand their struggle. For regular people watching this, it shows that when life completely breaks your original plan, you don't have to stay broken. Invictus proves that sport and community can literally rebuild a person's soul. We aren't just talking about people winning medals. We are talking about veterans reclaiming their purpose, finding their confidence, and learning to look at their futures without fear. While the tabloid media is outside crying about court verdicts and the palace is busy counting bedrooms, Harry's initiative is out here actively saving lives and restoring families. It gives these heroes their drive back, and that real-world life-saving impact is something no amount of petty media noise can ever take away. Let's close this out with the biggest takeaway from today, because despite what the media tries to spin, this entire day is a massive, undeniable win for Harry's character. Think about the absolute circus they threw at him this week. The monarchy tried to freeze him out with security blockades, they yanked his room offer at the absolute 11th hour over some petty PR games, and the courts just built a protective wall around his media bullies. They threw the entire establishment playbook at this man to try and break his spirit. But look where Harry is standing right now. He is right there in the heart of London, commanding a room full of global leaders, policymakers, and medical experts. He is fighting for a cause, the Invictus Games, that actually changes lives on a global scale. For the average person watching at home, this is the ultimate blueprint on how to protect your peace and stay winning. It shows that people can manipulate the rules, they can control the headlines, and they can try to block your path with endless roadblocks, but they absolutely cannot stop your actual impact if you stay grounded in your purpose. The palace and the tabloids look incredibly small, trapped in their little loop of petty drama and press releases. Meanwhile, Harry is out here living out loud, getting real work done, and completely refusing to let them dim his light. They wanted a picture of a defeated man, but instead, they got a masterclass in resilience. They can keep trying, but they simply cannot break his shine. That is the full breakdown for today, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. You already know what it is. I am your host, Miles. If you want to support the channel directly and help us keep dragging these media bullies into the light, hit that join button right now and become an official channel member. We are on a massive push to hit our goal of 2,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, drop a comment below, and share this video. Around here, we do not let the tabloids control the narrative. We see the real work, we see the real legacy, and we will always root for Harry.